All right, everyone. It seems so long ago when the Democrats actually ran campaigns based on ideas instead of, basically single plank platforms, so called. Biden's platform is very, very thin. It seems to be basically the literal embodiment of Orange Man bad, because now he's calling Trump an existential threat to this country. And I'm thinking after several years of Trump being president, despite all the obstruction, our economy's soaring along. We're not in any major wars. Automotive has begun creeping back in the country, which is good. We've kind of sort of got a band-aid on the border crisis. Trump had to go around an obstructionist Congress and the obstructionist Ninth Circuit and can't even build a wall on our own border, but he got Mexico to sort of come to the table and negotiate based on threat of tariff. He has overhauled NAFTA successfully once Congress gets off its ass and votes it through, which I am thinking it'll probably go through. I don't think the Democrats want to die on the hill of defending NAFTA. I don't think that that's going to happen, so I would be optimistic. Even if they're handing him a win, it's a smaller win than if they try to obstruct him on something like that. The House Dems would get purged in the next election. Look really good for Trump if the Democrats stand against it. That'd be hilarious, but it is a long, convoluted deal. I'm sure that they're actually making an attempt to read it all. They're afraid of long, opaque bills now because of Obamacare and some of these other things. Or the ACA overhaul attempt, which fell flat 3 different fucking times. But Biden doesn't seem to have found any other platform to stand on. I can't think of a single thing. Now, I could be right. Like, has he released, a basic, rudimentary guide to what he actually believes in? Because he was a tough-on-crimer in the 90s, and now he's like prison reform, which is something Trump's actually accomplished through numerous pieces of legislation, some of which were championed. The Republicans championed prison reform. The Republicans, my goodness, he really has overhauled the Republican Party. It's certainly not the Bush Party anymore, which could be why Jeff Flake and John McCain and all these other assholes are so upset. Oh my God, a Republican that doesn't want to start another war. Yeah, he saber rattles after Iran, but that's basically like a yearly celebration. We should make it a holiday. We and Iran, in order to come to a greater cultural understanding, should just have a U.S.-Iranian Relations Day. Sometime in the middle of summer, we just all get together and we shoot off guns and wave swords around and scream about, Satan and stuff like that. Because that seems to be the level of diplomacy that's been between our two nations for no apparent reason other than warmongers on both sides for a very, very long time. And Joe Biden calling Trump a threat. My goodness, the country's still here. This sounds a lot like the fear-mongering that you heard from the right on like gay rights or something. You're like, oh my God, if gay marriage becomes the law of the land, Satan will come out of a crater in the ground and he'll be president and everyone will die and there'll be demons and witches and, weird shit like that. We'll get the AIDS crisis. Meanwhile, things have marched along pretty well. Likewise with Trump. I was told by Krugman especially, the economy right now should be in a tailspin. We should be in a depression. We should probably be in World War III, possibly a civil war at the same time. We should be, things should be terrible right now. Instead, I'm looking out the window. It's a nice day. There's a few clouds in the sky, but it's, sunny and in the mid-60s. It's comfy. You can go out later and play in the chamomile and shit. I don't feel under threat. I look at the economy and I say, yeah, right now is a good time to be an entrepreneur, I suppose, and be fucking selling ceramic mugs. By the way, website link in the description. I just thought I'd throw that. I'm a capitalist, so it's okay. I buy your mugs too, maybe sometime. I want to get one of Crowder's mugs and one of Lionel's mugs. That'd be cool. Start a little mug shelf. I'll have one of my bookshelves. I'll clear, the books to a different one, and I'll have a line of mugs. But I insist that they be signed. I'll respond in kind, of course. That'd be cool. Have a mug trade club. That'd be an interesting idea. It'd be like little, you have little pedestals for them. You have a room with a circle of mugs. And you have an Oculus over it so that it's like, it keeps time. I don't know, I'm just growing eccentric, I guess, in my old age. But Biden's growing way more eccentric and demented, apparently, because he still can't figure out what he believes in. Oh, yeah, I support the Hyde Amendment. Oh, no. You're mad at me for supporting it. Oh, I don't support it anymore. I saw the light because my polling numbers were bad. And just think, this is the front runner. This is the man who's probably going to get put up against Donald Trump. I never would have envisioned in 1,000 years that the Democrats would have to settle for Biden. Like, you can't find anybody that's capable of even challenging him. How the hell would they even challenge Trump? That Biden was in front by 10 points or more in every single polling period, and this is the aggregate. His lowest polls were almost 10 points ahead of Sanders' highest polls at every point, even before he became an official candidate for the position of Dem nominee. He wasn't even in the race. He was still dicking around saying, well, my son died, well, I'm getting too old for this shit. Maybe I won't run. I haven't made a decision yet, but, you know, I will someday. He was still out ahead. Like, Bernie Sanders can't get jack shit. Now he's come out and once again endorsed socialism right while Venezuela is in the middle of turmoil. That's a real great campaign strategy, Bernie. At least you're consistent. What would be hilarious is if Biden was forced to choose Sanders as his running mate to keep the Bernie bros aboard the party, and how funny that would be. Okay, this 76-year-old with his 79-year-old running mate, and they're going up against Donald Trump, who will be 73, and his running mate's like late, I think Pence is in his late 60s, I think. Isn't he like 67, 68, somewhere around there? I could be wrong. It'd be funny if he was one of those guys who looks old and prematurely, so he's like 55 and he looks like 80. Or if he was like ancient, like older than Trump, and he just kind of looks good for his age. It doesn't look that bad. And oddly enough, looks less healthy than Trump. Trump, you know, spirals out of control on a regular basis. Pence looks very demure, rather quiet. Meanwhile, Bernie Sanders and Biden are both blowhards. Biden is trying to be more of a blowhard, though. Because there have been, certainly, Biden interpersonally, I'm sure, is like kind of a normal guy. Like, I don't think that he's rapacious or something. He's just, he comes off as creepy because he's like, I don't know. He's this old southern schmooze, basically. And so he sort of looks like, what the fuck was that movie called? The one with the Ku Klux Klan members, and there was a trial because they, like, sexually assaulted some young black girl, and there was that one dude who was like the sidekick, like the deep southern chicken fried sidekick dude, and he looked exactly like Joe Biden. I can't, you know, he's wearing suspenders and stuff, looked like, you know, I don't know, I don't even know what I'm fucking talking about. But neither does Biden, so maybe I should be running for the presidency. What's your platform? Trump is a bad man. Oh. What's your platform? He's an existential threat to the country he's managed for the last 3 years. Fairly decently. The economy, look at the economy now versus the economy then. Look at the unemployment rate, look at GDP, look at wage growth, look at the number of foreign conflicts we're involved in and at what level. Things are going right now pretty damn well. It's sort of a little bit like the early 90s sort of feeling right now. I mean, it's almost like situations would be boring if Trump didn't have a proclivity towards weird tweets. If Trump didn't have his particular style of insulting others and the 4D chess stuff, I would be bored in politics right now. If politics were normal, if the Democrats had a real platform instead of just being deranged, if they actually had something to run on other than free stuff or Orange Man bad, I would be bored right now. There wouldn't be enough conflict to even report on. I'd have to spend way more time editing. I'd have to be cranking those fucking books out because there wouldn't be anything else to do. The garden would certainly be way bigger because I'd have way more time. I wouldn't have to think about politics. I wouldn't have to sit here for an hour or two a day getting news articles. I wouldn't have to sit there and then plop things in. It'd be easy, but it would be kind of boring. A little bit of conflict makes the world go round. Of course, disclaimer, I'm not like Bill Maher. I'm not praying for recession or bad things to happen. I'm just saying, thankfully, Trump is not boring. But Biden is. Other than when he's making a gaffe, he's like one of the most boring regular Joes, pardon the pun, that you can possibly think of. That's about all. Peace out.